No.
You're cutting it close.
Oh, come on!
Good morning, Miss Tate. I need you around this weekend. You have a problem with that?
No, I just my grandmother's 90th birthday, so I was gonna go home and it's fine. I'll cancel it.
Is that your family?
Yes.
They tell you to quit?
Every single day. Margaret Tate's office.
This isn't about my second raise, is it?
Margaret, your visa application is denied. You're being deported.
Deported? It's not like I'm an immigrant or something. I'm from Canada.
If you're deported, you can't work for an American company.
If there was any way at all that we could make this thing work.
Pardon the interruption.
I understand the predicament, but there's something that you should know. We're getting married.
Who is getting married?
You and I are getting married. Yes.
We are.
Getting married.
We are getting married.
Yes. Can't fight a love like ours. So, are we good?
Make it all legal and we'll put this whole thing behind us.
I'm not gonna marry you.
If you don't, you'll be on the street all alone looking for a job.
Have the two of you told your parents about your secret love?
We're going to their place this weekend.
Oh, where's that?
Alaska.
Alaska. Where is Andrew's room? He'll sleep in here with you. We love to snuggle, don't we, honey?
Huge snugglers.
Breakfast for the happy couple. Oh my God, what is that?
I'm sorry.
What is it?
It's the morning.
How can you be around someone who made your life so miserable?
Sweetie,
Honey.
some proposals change you.
Why don't you get married here tomorrow?
Let's see a kiss.
Let me just do it really fast.
For better or worse.
Give her a real kiss.
Sandra Bullock.
Hello?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my God!
Naked!
Why are you wet?
The Proposal.
Maybe a tad loose in certain areas.
I'm a bit chesty to begin with. It's like an Easter egg hunt. There they are.
Yeah, that's Margaret just had to fight her way to get to where she is. She's crabby and difficult and funny. I need you around this weekend. You have a problem with that?
Grandmother's 90th birthday, so I was gonna go home and it's fine. I'll cancel it. She is the dark overlord of my life.
Is that your family?
Yes.
They tell you to quit?
Every single day. And there is a moment where it kind of flips.
We're being deported.
Deported?
Sorry to interrupt.
I think there's something that you should know. We're getting married.
Who's getting
You and I. You and I are getting married. Can't fight a love like ours.
Have the two of you told your parents?
We're gonna tell them this weekend. At Andrew's parents' house.
Where's that located again?
Alaska.
Alaska.
This woman is so type A, so it's really fun that she comes to this small Alaska community.
Here's this. I call it the baby maker.
Be super careful with that one, huh? Sandra Bullock is a female comic genius.
Care for some more?
Oh, no, I'm fine, thank you.
Just taste it.
So sorry.
She's one of the only women in Hollywood to be that beautiful and that willing to make a complete and utter mockery of herself.
Hand off ass. Off ass. And then Ryan Reynolds is one of a kind. Ryan is one of those rare actors who can do both drama and comedy, so he brings a lot to the plate.
I mean, I wouldn't possibly drink the same coffee that you drink just in case yours spilled. That would be pathetic. Morning, Miss Tate's office.
The two of them are so good together. Their chemistry is outrageous.
Just a second.
Oh my God, what is that?
I'm sorry. It's the morning. There's some great castmates in this film. It's unbelievable.
Each person you put the camera on, all you want to do is do a whole movie on their separate character.
That's my Cammy Annie.
Pleasure.
Do you prefer being called Margaret or Satan's mistress?
I'm so excited that I got to work with Betty White. Anything she does is hilarious. Her timing is unbelievable.
Oh, Margaret, you gotta love it.
Ramon's the only exotic dancer on the island.
Oscar, to me, was perfect casting. Oscar gave a lot of himself. He just put it out there.
His ass!
It's like catnip to the ladies.
The strongest female in our film is Anne Fletcher, the director.
All right, everybody.
This woman's energy is endless, but that's only surpassed by how great she is as a director. This is her forte. It's her choreography background. Change it. Hit, turn, pose. Spoon and spoon.
She's clinically insane. What? I mean, it provides such a funny energy on the set. I mean, you physically can't be in a bad mood around her.
I think she had a pretty good time.
You're surprised every scene you do on a movie like this. We have so much fun. You never know you're going to find some moment in there that really works for the movie. Oh! What the? Oh my God!
Naked!
Why are you wet? I think people come to a movie like this to have a really good time and to laugh out loud and to really just kind of let go.
I feel it. I feel the comedy, and I love it. Maybe a tad loose in certain areas.
I'm a bit chesty to begin with. It's like an Easter egg hunt. Oh, there they are.
Yes, that would be. Screwball comedy is a better way to describe what this film is than romantic comedy. And you know, the way that my character was written usually how they write the male parts. And they're usually the juiciest. And they're allowed to be complex and unattractive and crabby and fun and difficult and funny in a way that female parts generally aren't written. With Betty White, I said, if you get Betty White, I want to be in that scene reacting off of her. I don't want to be speaking. You let her be Betty White, because that's gold. Ryan Reynolds is one of those rare actors who can do both drama and comedy, and I've known Ryan for many, we go way back, and to work together. Once they said, you know, when I signed on, they said, you know, this is who we're thinking about. I said, you know what, there's no one else to play that. There's no one else that has all the elements that Ryan does. You could have other actors that were very good or very funny, but they wouldn't have the opposite, either the dramatic chops, or they would be a good dramatic actor, they wouldn't have the good comedic chops, nor would they be as handsome or as him, or as self-deprecating. There's a lot of elements that needed to go into who this person was. And Ryan was the only choice that made sense. So we always went into it knowing that it would be Ryan and myself. Dennis, Asif, and Oscar, you couldn't ask for three more unique, different, brilliant character actors who you could have cast completely opposite of them. And as it reads, you know, most people would have cast the obvious. Anne chose to cast actors who were deceiving. Like, you see the person and then they open their mouth or they start doing something and it's something completely different, which brings a life to these roles that could have been so cartoonish and thankless. And Oscar has this very pivotal scene in our film where, albeit he's wearing a Speedo, it says so much, and he gives so much of himself. A little too close to my face sometimes, but it had to be done. And he just, all of them, all three of them, when they had their scenes, I looked at Anne and I was like, I don't know how you thought to cast these people, but you did. And that's why the film is going to be so good. There's not one person that doesn't elevate the material. I have no idea how to describe Anne Fletcher other than you take the Tasmanian Devil, you take a little Phyllis Diller, you take a little bit of Jennifer Beals, because she's an extraordinary dancer. This woman's energy is endless, but that's only surpassed by how great she is at her job as a director. It's been a long time since I worked with someone that was as thorough and as thought out and as good at their job as Anne is.
You know, typically comedies are at least I've found in terms of gender, are kind of male driven, and I love it when it's the other way around. You know, Sandy's the one that's in this film that her character of Margaret is the oppressor and also the one that is I guess a bit more of the foil as well. She is the dark overlord of my life, and we have this back and forth that goes on throughout the entire movie, and there is a moment where it kind of flips, where I get a moment to really kind of unhinge my jaw and release the broken glass and rat crap on her, which is a pleasure to do, and also just to, you know, I think it's something that the character has coming. I think that one of the reasons that she is so well suited for the genre is that she's one of the only women I've ever known in Hollywood to be that beautiful and that willing to make a complete and utter mockery of herself. Sandy and I have been friends for years before this, and we'll be friends for years after this, so it's great working with your friend. I mean, it gets rid of all that legwork at the beginning, that kind of, typically, my experience on a comedy is that you shoot the film, and then halfway through you kind of really understand what your chemistry is with your co-star, and you kind of wish you could go back and reshoot all that stuff you've already done. When you step on a set the first day and you already have that chemistry built in, as Sandy and I did, you never experience that, so there's no regrets as you carry on. I mean, it goes from completely broad to very idiosyncratic kind of comedy. I mean, it's you know, some of my favorite stuff to do is reactive comedy, and that's, you know, if you give me somebody who can do the backflips that Sandy can, you know, it gives me such a great opportunity to just sit there and stare in utter, you know, disbelief at what she's saying and what she's doing.
Ryan Reynolds is, I mean, they're just equals. They're just so amazing, and he's one of these people that, because he's so funny, you just look at his face and you want to start laughing. Just his facial expressions, and that's always something that I hugely admire in actors is their reactions, you know, and that's such a huge part of the acting experience and being watchable on screen, and Ryan absolutely has that. Ramon, the stripper, was just about the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm so glad that we didn't have to try to be serious in that scene. I'm so glad it was like a hoot and holler and laugh your butt off, because he was incredible. You know, he stepped out in those Speedos with, you know, all the hair hanging out and everything just loose, and that was... you know, I really would never want a bachelorette party like that, but I'm so glad that I got to experience it on this film. It was brilliant.
You do see that, you know, there's this tremendous ability that she has. She's really enjoyable to watch. I mean, she's so versatile. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of women on this set, and it's hard for me, being so manly, to have to rescind my hostility, so to speak, in my screens, and let them down, and be kind and loving and generous like my son should be. And so it's been wonderful.
Into all this mix walks Sandra Bullock, who is just, her character Margaret is, you know, she thinks she knows what life is about, and she thinks she's in control of life, and life just throws this huge monkey wrench into her little orderly world, and it's really fun watching how she deals with that. The Proposal is a great romantic comedy about a very high-powered book editor professional who's absolutely going to take New York by storm, who has a huge monkey wrench thrown into her life and finds herself having to marry her beleaguered, much maligned assistant in order to stay in the country and get a green card. And it turns out that her assistant, who's